Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a platform move along a spline in Unreal Engine 5. But before we start, please like this video and subscribe my channel for more Unreal Engine tutorials. Thank you. Alright, first here I create a new blueprint in type of actor and I name it, for example, platform. Now I open up my blueprint and in component section I hit this add icon and here I add a cylinder. Now I scale it down to look like a platform, to make it look like a platform, and here now I hit this add icon again and now I add a spline. Alright, now I open event graph and here on this event tick, here I drag a node from this delta second and now I add a multiply node and I multiply it by a variable called speed. I promote this input to a new variable called speed, and here I make this instance editable by setting this option to true. And now from here I drag a node and add this add node, and here I create another variable in type of float and I name it distance. And now I compile and set default value of this distance to 300 and I also set default value of speed to 300. Now I connect my distance variable to here and now here I get a setter of this float variable and connect this to here and this one to here. Now I drag and drop my cylinder component here and now I drag a node and search for set relative transform. I'm sorry, set relative. Alright. Now I right click on this new transform input and I split it, and now I have location, rotation and scale separately. Alright, now for scale, I again get my cylinder and here I drag a node and search for relative scale 3D, and now I connect it to new transform scale, and now I get my spline component and here I drag a node and search for get transform at distance along a spline. Get transform at distance along a spline, and for this input distance I connect my distance variable to here and I right click on this return value and split it up. Now I connect this location to here, new transform location, but for rotation I right click here and split it up, and also I do the same for input of set relative transform. Now I connect X to X and Y to Y, but for Z I drag a node and add it by -90. and connect it here. Alright, now I compile and close this blueprint. Now I place my platform blueprint into the scene, and here as you can see I have my spline. I click on this vector, and now if I hold Alt button and drag it, I can add more points to my spline, just like this. Just I hold Alt key and drag it, and I also can add curves to my spline by moving these points, as you can see in the video. And now as you can see I have a curve spline, and here in this section I select my spline and set this closed loop to true, and here as you can see now I have a closed loop. And if I run the game, sorry, I should connect it to here. Okay, now I run the game. As you can see this platform is moving, but this movement doesn't have any loop, and if I reach the start point this platform will stop just like this. But I want make my platform to move in a loop. Now I open my platform blueprint again, and here I drag a node and add a branch node, and here I create a new variable in type of boolean and I name it loop. Now I compile and set default value of this variable to true, and I connect this to the condition of this branch node. And from true part of this branch node I drag a node and I add another branch node, and here I should check that my distance variable is greater than spline's length. So here I drag and drop my distance, and here I add a greater node, and here I get my spline. I drag a node and search for get a spline length. Connect this one to here and this one to here, and finally I get a setter of my distance variable, and here from true part of my second branch node I set this to 0. Okay, now I compile and run the game, and this time my platform will have a continuous movement with loop along this spline, just like you see in the video. Alright, if this tutorial was useful for you, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.